Hi, I'm Rose Cafasso, Community Manager of PTO Today.
And I'm Craig Bystrinsky, Editor-in-Chief of PTO Today.
And we're here today to talk about MotherFunders, Bravo TV's newest reality show. This one about a PTO based right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's a classic reality show with lots of drama, lots of conflict, lots of fancy outfits, and carrying on. And we're really enjoying covering it and wanted to talk a little bit about why we think it's important to talk about it.
Because one of the things that people have asked us is why actually are we talking about it? Because they feel like it portrays parent groups in kind of a negative light. And there definitely is some of that. It's clearly made for TV. It has crazy characters and crazy storylines. But on the other hand, it is a TV show about PTOs, and as far as I know, that's never happened before.
Right. Yeah.
And so we feel like we ought to at least look at how they are portraying PTOs and what we might kind of glean from that.
Right, and what we can add to the conversation about some of the things that they're covering. We think that the show so far, episode 2 aired last night, has been so focused on money. Everything is about money. And in fact, the PTO president, whose name is Carla, in last night's episode actually had this large sort of glass tube thing that she was filling with glitter to indicate how many dollars they had raised so far. Tremendous focus on money, and we don't think that's a good idea.
In fact, research shows that the best thing that you can do as a parent group for your school is to create the kind of welcoming community where students and teachers can do their best work. And sometimes that does involve fundraising, but it can't be your sole focus. Because if you fundraise too much, what ends up happening is people get fundraising fatigue, they see you as just a fundraising group, and it really interferes with your efforts to build that kind of community.
Right, and we're always talking about community and how important that is. And the example on episode 2 was the group ran what they called a parents' night out, so the children were dropped off and the parents were able to go out for a few hours. It's a wonderful idea for an event, but on the show they kept focusing on how much money they were going to make from it. Whereas that's the kind of event it would be great to do regardless of making money, just as a nice service to parents.
Right, and another thing about their fundraising focus is, in the first 2 episodes, what they've done so far is have a couple of small events where they made some amount of money on each one. And they have a very ambitious fundraising goal. They're planning to raise $100,000 for the year, which is a tremendous amount for an elementary school. It can be done. We've seen schools in certain communities be able to do that, but to raise a large amount of money, you can't do it with a bunch of small events. You can't have 100 events that raise $1,000 each and raise $100,000. You really have to do it in a planned, very focused way where you have a few major events that you put all your efforts into. You organize them well, you plan them well, you reach out to the community, whether it's an auction or a product sale or any major event like that. But the key is to just have a few so that you can focus the rest of your time on building community and having family events and all those important things that PTOs do that really aren't discussed at all in this show.
Right. So I guess we owe them a little bit of thanks in that the show last night is giving us an opportunity to talk about fundraising and doing it right, and the importance of balancing it with community events that really get people connected and make your school feel like it's a family and a community. So that's our take on episode 2, and we'll be sharing our thoughts as the show continues.